Hello there, and welcome back to another video. So a bit over a month ago I posted the welcome video that had my new channel banner, and in that video I talked about wanting to get a sort of tripod that would come up to my desk so I could record some more traditional videos. So between then and now I've done so this is my first time recording a video with this new camera setup. So how it works is I have just a Panasonic kind of camcorder that I can screw onto this tripod, and the tripod has this screwable adjustable clamp that can go on my desk, and yeah, I just set it up on my desk and started sketching in my sketchbook. I didn't really have much of a plan on what to draw for this. I kind of wanted to more figure out if I can record what I draw and how it looks and that sort of thing. So let me know what you think. Let me know if you have any tips and tricks for recording when you have a tripod in your face and you're trying to draw. But yeah, so I recorded this at the desk in my dorm room because I'm back at college, and I just wanted to sort of figure out how this sort of works. So I decided to just mess around with my sketchbook. The first thing I drew was just this sitting pose that I just came up with. I guess it was sort of mirroring the way I was sitting, and then I decided to just bring up my group chat with my art friends and decided to just pick out a couple random characters of theirs. So this first one I'm drawing belongs to Prism Kid, and not quite sure what his name is just yet, or their name, but I know Kid's been working really hard on their concept and their story and their stuff like that, so I decided to just give him a try. He has they have these like rainbow horns and a sort of jumpsuit, and they go around through like a cyberspace kind of with an AI, I think, sort of thing. But yeah, I was kind of happy with the pose. It's been getting easier for me to work around shoulders and abdomens and legs and just anatomy in general when I don't really have to worry about foreshortening. And I was just sort of focusing on trying to make it look alright, and every now and then you'll see me tilt the sketchbook up, and I do that so I can get a straight on view of the illustration. Usually what I do is kind of lean forward so I could look straight down at the illustration, but if I did that then you'd just see a bunch of my hair in frame, so instead I just lift up the sketchbook instead of shoving my face. And it's probably better for my back for me to tilt up the sketchbook instead of, you know, hunching forward even more than I already hunch. And yeah, I'm surprised of how much exactly my hand covers the spot that I'm working on. I don't quite know at what angle other people tend to record, or if they use their hands any different when they're recording what they draw. And also I had quite a bit of trouble with the lighting, so I recorded this with all the lights in my room turned on and also the window open. The desk is facing the window, and it was afternoon, so there wasn't any direct sunlight because I get the sunrise sunshine, not the sunset sunshine, through my window. And yeah, so I had sort of this cool toned light. I don't know if I'm gonna twist my wrist in a way where we can see what time it is from my watch, but I think it was around 5 or 6 p.m, something like that. So yeah, the light was really cool toned, even though I had all my lights indoors turned on. And so I tried to tweak it a little bit in iMovie to like just make it warmer. But the thing with iMovie is that it uses yellow to change the warmth and so the coolness of the light is blue, and the complement color to blue is orange. So I don't really get where iMovie gets yellow to counteract cool toned photos or videos, and that kind of irritates me. So I can't really abuse of it too much because it just makes it really yellow and yucky. So I'd rather keep it a bit bluer than a bit yellower, I guess. And yeah, so I usually, when I'm wanting to sort of add a little bit more of a pop to a sketchbook page, I just grab a highlighter and I surround the illustration in a highlighter. I didn't do it for Kid's character because I thought Kid's character, since I outlined them with a fine liner, I used a Pigma Sensei, I think 0.4, and I'm using just a regular mechanical pencil to sketch, and the highlighter I'm fairly sure is just a big orange highlighter. I'll try to remember to say the materials I'm using. For colour pencils, I think, yeah, I'm grabbing colour pencils. They're called, I can't read it actually, it's in Chinese, but I got them off Wish, and I was just giving Wish a try, see what it was like, and they were supposed to be watercolor colour pencils, but they don't really blend that well with water at all actually, but I just use them for because of cheap colour pencils and I have them. And yeah, there's my experimental penning shot with my phone. I think that looked kind of cool actually. And yeah, just for you to get a better look at what the page looks like without the weird lighting thing from my window and without my hand in the way, because right now my hand's just like slapped right over Kid's character, like whoops, sorry. For the second page that I'm doing, I decided to just keep it a bit more loose. This is sort of a bit of an insight if you want to see how I learn things, how I practice things. I just pulled up, I googled comic book foreshortening, and then I just saw some references of some illustrations of foreshortened comic characters, and I decided to just kind of copy them. Not trace them, I think you'd be able to see if I were tracing anything, but just look at it, copy it, try to understand how it works, because I was realising that one of the things that would level up my art that I don't know quite how to do is just implementing more foreshortening and more dramatic poses, because I understand it sort of, but it's kind of hard for me to come up with it. And the way that I just kind of learnt anatomy in the first place was just gesture drawing and figure drawing and just copying poses that I saw on the internet. So I decided to just grab a couple foreshortened poses where there's a lot of overlapping of limbs and stuff like that, just to try to see if I could learn something from them. So we had sort of like a reaching, jumping pose, sort of Spider-Man pose, and then a sitting kind of curled up girl in on herself pose. I'm pretty happy with this page actually. It has a lot of personality to it, and I felt like I did learn quite a couple of things, and I really just sort of saw my knowledge of anatomy shine through, because even though it's foreshortened, I can still sort of see the way the muscles twist around in space. And there we go again, surrounding things with the orange highlighter. I just really think it adds a lot of like pop to the image once it's done. If you like take a step back from it and it's outlined like that, it's just really easy to see what it is and what it looks like. And then when I'm flipping through my sketchbook later on, I really enjoy just seeing these out. It makes it feel a lot more complete, I think, when you outline stuff like that. And yeah, well, my original plan for today was to try to do a watercolor and record it, but I decided not to, because I just figured might as well keep it simple, stay in the sketchbook. I need to work more on my sketchbook anyway, because I've kind of been neglecting it lately because I've been so into digital stuff. And there's the whole double page spread of both sheets. And if you think it's over, no, it's not over. I flipped the page, started a new one. This other illustration is my friend Saf's character Wahid, and I decided to draw him because I was just scrolling down Pinterest because I have a bunch of different pin boards of like poses. So I have action poses, casual poses, just drawing reference, anatomy, stuff like that. And I was just scrolling through the pin boards that I had, and I found this one guy in a suit jacket, suit pants with some Converse, and he was just sitting and his like head was tilted up, kind of cool. So I decided to use that as a reference and stick Wahid in him, because since I drew a character for Kid, I wanted to draw something for Saf as well. And yeah, I was quite happy with the way that this turned out. Actually, my favourite part of this are the shoes. Second favourite part, I think it would just be the overall silhouette and mood to it all. And yeah, Wahid's a kind of cool character. He's technically a vampire, but he's sort of stupid vampire. He's dating my character Aries, and Saf and I tend to call them our dumbasses because they're really stupid, and yet we sort of love them anyway. He's really into like motorbike drag racing kind of thing, and he always gets beat up even though he's a vampire, and he doesn't get hurt as easily. He still gets hurt all the time. It's really funny. So yeah, I just kind of wanted I like the idea, I think, because when I saw the sort of shirtless, which is a suit jacket on top, the only character that I could think of off the top of my head that belonged to like me and my friend group that would pull that off, I thought was just Wahid. And yeah, I think it turned out pretty nice. And there we go again, switching between sort of clips where I try to tweak the lighting and it's just a mess. I really apologize. I'm still trying to learn about all this, and yeah, I feel kind of a beginner. Like as soon as you learn something and you're comfortable with it, like me with say, I don't know, I feel fairly comfortable with watercolors now, you end up facing a new challenge, and for me that's videography and whatever the equivalent of videography is for audio stuff, because yeah, I'm still trying to figure out how to make my audio just sound clean in general. I just never really expected to try to dig into too deeply into this video making thing. But since I've got a lot of you guys here watching, I want to do my best to make this as presentable and nice as possible. Here I am lining the shoes. They're meant to be Converse, and I kind of just did whatever felt right when it came to doing the laces. I find that when you're doing laces on shoes, and this might be a tip that you pick up, just the more little scribbly lines that you put in there, the more detail it seems like it has. But there's always just a jumble of stuff going on with shoelaces that we kind of read as shoelaces, but we don't really pay attention to individual laces. So I wouldn't really recommend to just spend too much time stressing over drawing individual laces when really just a scribble is going to translate as a pair of laces anyway to the eye. It's these sort of things that you pick up, especially when you're the one drawing something, you're really zoomed into it, paying a lot of attention to it. So every single detail, every single thing that looks off looks really off to you because you're just like so narrowed into looking at it. But anyone who's going to look at it just at a glance isn't going to really notice that much. And it kind of sucks when you put really a lot of time and a lot of detail into something and nobody really even notices that you put like 50 million scales on a little dragon in the background in picture frame or something like that. It sucks when people don't notice the work you put into that. But when you're nervous about or stressing about time and trying to get things detailed, it might be nicer or reassuring to know that if you sort of make up a shorthand for that kind of detail, it won't translate as much. And here I am again with the Wish colour pencils, just adding a little bit of colour. We don't have much left in this video, so I'd like to thank you very much for watching. Let me know what you think of how this looks in general. I'm still very new to this traditional recording thing. I'm going to try to do some watercolor stuff, maybe try to experiment with some different lights, filming at different times of day also. I know that pencil in particular is not that very easy to see, so I might try just sketching in ballpoint pen, see if that works any better for recording. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next week.